Hey everyone, Josh Dozat here, President at Lowlar Contractors. Today we're going to be going over some frequently asked questions about ADUs and DADUs. What is a mother-in-law suite and what is the difference between that and an ADU? So mother-in-law suite, simply put, is more of a studio style apartment. You would have sometimes a kitchenette, for sure, maybe a shared bathroom or maybe its own bathroom. But basically it doesn't have to have a designated living area. An ADU has to have a designated bedroom, closet, bathroom, kitchen, and living area. If you're looking to move someone into your house at a fairly lower cost, I would say a mother-in-law suite's more of that style. Maybe you have a family member coming in out of town and you have a shared bathroom that is not so shared, so to speak. That might be a good fit for someone because they have limited access to the bathrooms, or maybe they do or don't need a kitchenette in that sense. An ADU is more for somebody who's looking for their own private space. Maybe you have an elderly parent who's coming to stay with you. This gives them their own kitchen, they can do their own cooking, their own bathroom, their own separate living space to watch TV and hang out and drink coffee, and then just their own designated bedroom. Another good fit for an ADU would be if you're looking to generate more income for your property, you can have someone come in and lease the ADU space for you. So this, again, gives them entirely their own seclusion from the rest of your house. What's the difference between an ADU and a DADU? An ADU stands for accessory dwelling unit. And when you don't add the D on it, it simply means that it's attached to your structure. So this could be a basement of your home, a garage wing on the side of your house, or maybe even just a large recreational area that's unfinished. Any of these areas can be converted to an ADU. There's a few things that need to be considered when doing a DADU, such as setbacks from property lines, things of that sort, but it's a standalone structure not attached to your existing house. What are the difference in utilities in connecting an ADU and a DADU? So the different utility connections for an ADU versus a DADU would mean that an ADU, you have to find your existing lines that are within the parameters of your house and extend them on to the ADU. In terms of a DADU, it would require its own separate lines to the exterior of the property. And the biggest one to consider here would be the electrical service. It would require its own panel, its own meter, which is a significant thing to consider and has to be worked out with the power company. What's the differences in cost between an ADU and a DADU? ADUs range in square foot costs from around $320 a square foot to about $420 a square foot. To put this in simpler terms, a minimum size to expect in a dollar value for an ADU would be somewhere along the lines of $150K, upwards to a maximum of probably around $350,000. The cost to build a DADU is substantially different simply because we have to build a new structure as opposed to an ADU is built within an existing structure. So the cost of a DADU starts around $650 a square foot and goes upwards to around $750 a square foot. So simplified this, the minimum size would probably be around $225,000. upwards to around $800,000. So the difference in the cost there between a $350,000 DADU to $800,000, for example, would be at the $350,000 mark, you get the minimum size of a DADU. So this would include one bedroom, one bathroom, one kitchen, one living area. Now you can expand DADUs and build them as big as you want, up to 2 or 3 bedrooms, and also 2 or 3 bathrooms, or 2 bathrooms and a powder room. So that cost determines depending upon the size, strictly. How long does it take to build an ADU and a DADU? So for an ADU, you can expect a minimum of around probably about 6 months, upwards to around 8 months. Just depends upon the level of complexity and what's involved in how big the space is, and then also if we have to do anything more elaborate with the sewer system. For a DADU, you're looking at somewhere along the lines of 8 months to upwards of 12 months. That timeline is just dependent upon the same factors of how big the space is. DADUs take longer to build simply because we have to put the exterior structure in as opposed to an ADU, the structure is already in place for us. What kind of ROI can I expect from an ADU or DADU? In the Seattle market, you can expect a high return simply because you can get revenue back from these spaces. One of the most common things is for Airbnb stay. If it's permitted properly as an ADU or a DADU, then you can legally collect income back from the space, and it's a positive ROI. So aside from the financial gain of leasing out an Airbnb place, a lot of people also use these to bring in maybe an elderly family member that needs extra attention or to be closer to the family. A lot of times what happens is people will bring in their parents or their grandparents to live inside the space, knowing that the peace of mind that they're right in their backyard. So these are the top questions we get asked all the time about ADUs and DADUs. If you need any more information, please check out our website. Feel free to call us, email us, and we'd love to help you.